Your scorecard is the balance sheet, is the P&L, is the are people actually buying your product? Are they engaged with your product? And that's the biggest challenge. Like the entrepreneurship is freedom. It's complete and utter freedom. There's nothing like it. It is amazing, cloud nine, and it is terrifying, all at the same time. I'm Ryan Hogan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Hunt-A-Killer. Hunt-A-Killer is an immersive entertainment company where we ship stories through the mail. And these stories include correspondence, items, clues, and basically all of our members navigate through this murder mystery investigation. And we're based in the U.S. We've got a couple offices. We're based out of Baltimore, and then we also have offices in Seattle. My story is really just kind of the whole lifelong entrepreneur thing. I mean, it's very exciting. And from selling creepy crawlers in third grade, it went to lawnmower men and dropping off flyers across the neighborhood. So a landscaping business. Winter would come, we'd shovel the snow. It's been business after business, and it never stopped. And that's really been my story, for the past, 30 some years now. I did join the military. So I was in the United States Navy active duty for 15 years. Hunt-A-Killer was actually a live event. And so, we transformed a 200-acre campground into a living crime scene. And, we brought 600 people down for this event. We sold the thing out. People had a lot of fun, but we just didn't make any money. And that was a problem. So then we pivoted the company. We went from a live event and we said we found product market fit off of an immersive experience that brings people together. The subscription box model, which in 2016 was blowing up, and just using that business model as a vehicle to take the live event or to take the immersive entertainment that we had already created and be able to distribute that to doorsteps globally. And that's really been the personal and the business journey throughout the past 30 years. We ship subscription boxes currently. So basically what we do is think of it like a television series where you get one episode at a time. That's Hunt-A-Killer. Everybody starts at the same spot. So if you join today, you would be paying $30 a month. And for your $30, you get your first episode. And right now we're shipping a season called Curtain Call, which is just a fascinating look at a murder that happened at the Cadence Theater in New York a long time ago. And it's an amazing story. And you receive your first episode, and after you're completed with the episode, once you identify all the suspects, you start to look at motives. You figure out what the murder weapon is. You look at all the different crime scene photos and the police reports and things like that. And then once you're complete with that box, episode 2 comes the next month. And so that's the business we're in. The challenge that we're solving, or the pain point that we're solving for people, really comes back to human connection. We're in the business of community, and we just happen to ship boxes right now. And that's the thing, is like, people are looking for authentic connections. They are looking to engage with like-minded individuals and talk about things that are of interest to them. And that's really what we are. Is like, we're a niche community company, and we sell these amazing immersive experiences. The biggest thing for us, we had 2 primary growth drivers very early on. The first was 2016 was kind of a moment for the true crime space. And so, for us, it was all about podcasts. There were podcasts, My Favorite Murder. There were a ton of podcasts that were entering the market. They were building these micro communities online and just amazing diehard fans. And so we were able to tap into that. We were able to tap into that moment by really leveraging podcast advertising to help drive awareness and conversion for our product. And then that was coupled with Facebook advertising. There's no there's not a more powerful tool right now in the world from an advertising standpoint. Today we use everything. We use affiliate marketing, we use influencer marketing. We have very much a blended approach right now to our marketing strategy. From a retention standpoint, it's keeping the customer happy. And we've been able to accomplish that through things like active listening. We've got this Facebook group that has over 130,000 people in there. And while that definitely serves the purpose of our members being able to get in there and have genuine conversations, it also allows us as a company, as a brand, as a human, to engage with our customers and understand what they want to see as far as improvements are concerned, and what they want to see as far as new products are concerned or new stories are concerned. And so it's strategic partnerships are important because two reasons. The first is it allows you to focus. It allows you to focus on your core competency and not be distracted by things that you're not good at. And the second part is that someone else is out there is better than you. And that's the perk, right? Like, one, you get to have your focus back. You don't have to worry about whatever it is that your strategic partnership that you're contracting. But at the end of the day, they're better at it than you. So why wouldn't you do that? Or some of my biggest challenges as an entrepreneur has been investing a lot in businesses that weren't gonna succeed. What's been interesting, I've had 2 companies out of 40 companies that have scaled, that have grown fast. And the interesting difference between those 2 companies and the other 30 companies that I've launched is that the first purchase of whatever that product or service was not in my first or second degree network. And that has been a very telling thing. The thing is that we get so wrapped up in our ideas that we'll spend a year thinking about how amazing this product or this solution is going to be. And then you launch it and there's crickets. And so that's probably been my biggest challenge. I certainly think I've gotten better at that, but just letting go of ideas and getting the market as quickly as possible to validate the concept so that we're not wasting time with things that don't matter. Being an entrepreneur means your boss is the customer. Like, that's the biggest difference between in any other role. Your success or failure is not judged by some sort of scorecard or some sort of yearly review that your leader is giving you. Your scorecard is the balance sheet, is the P&L, is the are people actually buying your product? Are they engaged with your product? And that's the biggest challenge. Like, entrepreneurship is freedom. It's complete and utter freedom. There's nothing like it. It is amazing, cloud 9, and it is terrifying, all at the same time. But I've certainly experienced failure where an a company that I had grown and scaled came collapsing down. And it's interesting, and it's interesting for a lot of different reasons. Because when that company came crashing down, my next step was accepting a commission in the United States Navy. And so I went from running a company where the customer was our boss. I went from running a company where I made a lot of high-level decisions and impacted both customers and teammates' lives, to standing watch on a ship with a deck log in front of me, writing notes in it about who's coming on board and who's not, and checking their IDs. That's a shift. Like that was challenging. Yeah, I guess that would be the concern. The concern would be making the same mistakes, the nagging fear of repeating the first failure. Yeah, for me, it's all about validating the concept as quickly as possible. I read the Lean Startup at least once a year. I've got a whole bunch of notes in it. And it's because the concept of an MVP, the concept of a minimal viable product, and the ability to be able to ship whatever it is you have an idea, and you need to be able to ship that idea. You could spend years refining that idea, crafting it, getting it absolutely perfect. At the end of the day, nobody wants whatever that idea is. When we were selling the subscription boxes back in October of 2016, we hadn't even developed them yet. Like once the first one was purchased, then we had to start developing them because we didn't know if it was going to work. And why would we waste all those resources and time and attention into something that may or may not work? And so the validation of a concept using MVP principles and being able to kind of hack that into validation. You have to get validation as quickly as possible. I mean, I would say if you don't have experience making the types of decisions that you're making, it's probably a good sign that you need to get someone through the door that knows and understands the variables for whatever decision you're trying to make. That was certainly the detriment to the first company. Was we didn't. It was just a couple 20-year-old co-founders, figuring it out as we went along. And by the time we started to bring talent through the door, it was too late. And so getting a mentor, getting a coach, starting to recruit for positions with people that are smarter than you is the goal. Here's a quick timeline. Went from selling laptops, buying them from auctions for $5 and selling them for $20 on eBay. Went from that to going to discount stores and purchasing performance apparel and selling that on eBay. Went from that to creating my own apparel company and selling that via a website. That was failing, so went from that to launching an event where we could give those t-shirts away for free at the events to be able to move the inventory that we had in stock. Went from that to a failure, went from that to something else, went from that to Hunt a Killer. So like I can draw a timeline over the past 11, 12, 13 years of the journey that it took, but it started with that first step. And so that's the critical part. For me, it's really been about two things: customers and team. And for the customers to be able to bring hope into people's lives. I had 130 customer phone calls about 3 weeks ago, and talking to the customers and them telling me how big of an impact that we've had in their lives, both emotionally, psychologically, bringing families back together. Like that is true purpose. My biggest accomplishments as an entrepreneur has really been the impact to the lives that we've made, both in our members' lives and in our teammates' lives. There's a million ideas out there. The only difference between like your idea and the other person's idea, which is the same idea, is like one's going to execute on that and one's going to take the action that we were talking about before. So the whole idea that the product is not market ready is an excuse not to figure out if people want it or not. Because that's the hard part as an entrepreneur, right? Like you have these ideas and you think they're great, and people will tell you if they're great or not. And they tell you if they're great by taking out their wallet and purchasing. And if they don't, that means you have a problem. And your baby, your idea, your baby is probably ugly. And you need to develop some tough skin and get over that and jump right to your next idea. I think it's incredibly important. Some people don't spend a lot of time with brands. I'm very much like a brand design focused person, and there is an incredible amount of value to coming across professionally. I was on a mastermind call last night, and we were talking about a beverage, and somebody was talking about the only reason that they purchase beverages or new beverages in Wegmans is based upon how the can looks. We have some competitors, and you go and you look at their stuff, and it's just it's terrible. It's terrible looking. It's terrible branding. It's terrible copy. It's terrible photography. Thank you, viewers, for watching Founder X series by Designhill. If you want to connect, you can find me on LinkedIn. I think it's linkedin.com/Ryan E. Hogan. Ryan, RYANE, Hogan, HOGAN. Awesome. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.